6 minutes because we were waiting for people to finish off their lunch.
Yep.
There are 2 lions in this world. One lion is straining at the leash, eager to spring forth and live up to all the adjectives that the world has been showering upon us. The other lion is the leash. One lion says, "Give me a chance and I will prove myself." The other lion says, "Prove yourself first and then you may get a chance." One lion lives in the optimism in our hearts. The other lion lurks in the skepticism of our minds. One lion wants, the other lion hopes. One lion leads, the other lion follows. But conversions are on the rise. With each passing day, more and more people from other lands have been coming over to this side. And quietly, when the world is not looking, a pulsating, dynamic, new Lions International is emerging. A lion whose faith in success is far better than its fear of failure. History, they say, is a bad motorist. It rarely ever signals its intentions when it is taking a turn. This is that rarely ever moment when history is turning a page. For 10 decades, our organization is sprung, stumbled, run, followed, fallen, rolled over, got up, dusted itself, cantered, sometimes lurched on. But today, as we begin our centennial celebration, the ride has brought us to the edge of time of great precipice. And one lion, a tiny little voice in the back of his head, is looking down the bottom of the ravine and hesitating. The other lion is looking up the sky and saying, "It's time to fly." It is time to fly for us to enter into the new century of service. By the way, this was not my poem. This is the poem that I sort of twisted and brought it to the lions. It is written by one of the known poets, very well-known poets in India. It was about India. I just converted it to Lionism. Today we are going to talk about the achieving the membership growth through service. As most of you know, that I am the membership coordinator for the multiple district, and my role is to bring in members. But what is the use if we just bring in members and they're not doing anything? So today's presentation is focused on doing service, and through service, how we can get members, how we can grow our membership. The objective, I think, if I come here, you can hear me, right? Yeah. So I'll just skip that. The objective today is to know the importance of hands-on service, the importance of public relations, and then we will all develop a small membership growth plan using what we talked about in the first two. Just to give a reference, about, I think, 2 years back, our international director, Jerome, and me, we were sitting in a forum, and we were discussing about how to grow membership. And international director, Jerome, that time he was not international director, he maintained a blog talking about hands-on service. And it impressed me a lot, and I decided that for today's presentation, I would bring in that aspect, the hands-on aspect of service. Before jumping into the details of this particular topic, let's go and sort of know each other a little well. Let's see what causes that are close to your heart. Let me start with myself. As you know, I'm Mahesh Chitnis. My role in the multiple district is to bring in new members, membership growth. But my heart is in the empowering the families and mentoring children. That is why I joined Lions. That is where my heart is. Let's go from this side. Just your name and what cause that is close to your heart.
My name is Wilson Ceballos. As you said, we both have probably the same why we joined Lionism. We were both Leos, so youth is a very important part of what I joined Lionism. Also, children, now that we're doing, especially now we're doing the vision screening. But before, when I joined Lionism, I got involved in Lionism in the Dominican Republic, was because the Lions Club that my grandfather belonged to, the main project was to focus on I don't know how to say the word in English, was orphanage. So that's why it really got me into it, and we continue moving. I moved here also working with young people and children.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Varsha, and I'm president of Menlo Park Lions Club. I started my Lions Club in 2014, and I'm a 1.5-year-old lion. The main goal of getting membership is, again, as Mahesh said, family membership.
Varsha, I just want the cause okay. that is close to your heart.
Okay, so youth is my cause. So, after Leo, I just want that they join the Lions Club and we meet the youth members. So I think Leo and youth is my main cause. And getting involved families is the second cause. Thank you.
I'm Caitlin from the Westville Lions Club. I was one of the Leos that moved up too. And my cause would probably be the food bank through our church and stuff.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and my cause is to the young do the food bank, because that's promoting the less unfortunate to get better and to be better for them.
Hunger.
Sure they have something.
Another person for the cause of hunger. Okay.
I'm Karen Ressler. I am the leadership team coordinator for the state of New Jersey, and right now my passion is training too, and that's why I'm really happy to be here today and have the Lions learn all the resources they can use to better serve everyone in all projects.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob Stokes. I'm the incoming president of the Haddonfield Lions, and I'm really passionate to expand the kinds of services that our club provides to our community.
And just one example?
I would probably say perhaps in education, provide additional basic skills training to individuals or
empowering youth.
Yes.
I'm Tom Baird, and I'm the outgoing president at the Lions Club, and I was third vice president, then second vice president, first vice president, and all of a sudden, I'm the King Lion, and I realized that my education is sadly lacking, but one of the reasons I'm driven to the Lions Club has to do with the fact I was in the military, and I have 2 lieutenants that were with my unit in Vietnam who are blind, and one was on the second tour in Vietnam, shrapnel, and the first one, the other lieutenant, received a head injury and then he became blind later in life. So
So you
I'm
did
driven
vision.
to try and help such people and the eyesight impaired folks, as well as trying to grow our Lions Club.
What about you?
I'm Aisha Stepway Johnson, and I'm a member of the North Lions Club. I'm the incoming president for the North Lions.
Mhm.
And a cause that is close to my heart is helping underserved, underrepresented people, in particular education and higher education.
Thank you. ID Jerome?
I'm Jerome Thompson in Moulton, Alabama. And I guess if I had one dream, if I could just, in the morning, do something, it would be set up a network of e-recycling centers to help our economy, to help our environment, and to help us to get the hazardous materials out of our landfills and properly handled. I'm sort of passionate at this point in time in my life about the environment, not only for me, but for my children and future grandchildren.
Yep. Neil Bill, Gloucester City Lions Club. Very passionate about the environment. We do a lot of community cleanups with our Leos. We involve our Leo, we have about 100 Leos. So we do that quite often throughout the year. There's a lot of different other sports related activities we also do them. So very good. Thank you.
Tom Deeds, I'm the president of the Burtonville Lions Club, and I'm an educator, 41 years, and so I'm very interested in youth. But growing up, I was coming through scouts and things like that. I was very involved with service, and during my time as a teacher, I felt that it was very important to get the kids involved in service and in helping their community. One of the things our club is doing at this point is we're trying, because we've lost a lot of the service clubs in our community, is to try to help the clubs, other clubs, not just Lions clubs, but help them help one another, which hopefully will also help us make new contacts, which will allow us to gain new members for our Lions Club itself. But to encourage service, not just with the kids, with Leos and things, but service from adults too, because we're seeing in our communities that we're just not getting, the service organizations are losing their service people themselves.
That is exactly what I'm going to talk about. What about it?
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Davis, and I'm the membership chair for the Lions Club of Plainfield, New Jersey. My passion is I'm an educator, and so my passion is serving underrepresented groups. And our Lions Club provides 3 scholarships for graduating Plainfield High School seniors, and so we would like to develop a way to grow our Lions Club and to increase the membership, especially serve.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Mary Lou DeMarie Burhang. I got involved with Lions because I was a camp nurse at Camp Marcella, Camp for Blind Children up in northern New Jersey. And my personal interest, definitely environmental. Also, field of suicidology. There's such an increased rate of vets, teens, and seniors that are taking their lives. And now I work with seniors. And a lot of them have severe visual problems.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karthika. I'm the incoming president of Edison Missionary Lions Club. For me, the most passionate cause is dealing with children, especially with special needs. And I have worked with them. I know how it is to have special needs. So that is like my core cause: developmental delays, social delays. I'm really, really passionate.
I'm Anu Chitnis. I'm from Edison Missionary Lions Club. And I think I could go on and on, but the primary thing is youth and youth empowerment, building better future generation.
Yeah. Hi everyone, Jeff Baldino, Garden State Champions Club. I think the question is, what is your passion? Special Olympics would be certainly a passion of our club and of myself.
Thank you, everybody. So basically, if we look at the core causes that we have in our organization that are covered by this growth. So if our organization wants to have service in all core areas, our Centennial Challenge. We have covered it here. Many times that we hear that our clubs are aging, they have become more of check writing organization than hands-on organizations. We cannot do surveys and we are just declining organization. Not really true. There are several examples that exist that even if your club is getting older, your average age is say 65 plus, you can still do service activity. Let's take an example that ID Jerome gave this morning in the breakfast session, that he went to a club which was elder club, so to say, but within a week's time, they helped him get that project going. And even before he joined, the project still existed. They were still serving the community in general. I don't know how many of you were there for the opening session yesterday, and the mayor of Atlantic City came in here and he gave an example. Even if you were there, I'm going to repeat that because it does talk about why the service is important. When the mayor of Atlantic City, he was a young child, he went to a scout camp, Cub Scout camp. And besides, I'm going to shorten that story. Besides everything, on the toilet, which was donated by Kiwanis, there was a letter K on that. And being a young child and learning so many new things, he didn't know what Kiwanis was. So he thought the porta potty is Kiwanis. So he was, after a couple of years, he was traveling in Bergen County and he wanted to go to party. And then he saw a Kiwanis board and he got into that office and asked to use Kiwanis. But then he went in and he talked about with the attendant there. He realized what kind of organization Kiwanis was and he wanted to join that organization because the service that they provided him a few years back. And the other part of that story is he became a Circle K member. When he went to college, he became a Circle K member. He wanted to be a Kiwanian, but nobody asked him. And Rotary asked him, he became a Rotarian. He's a Rotarian for 40-something years. And he went on the service activities, not only in this part of the world, but several countries around doing humanitarian work. Coming back to our organization. Have you heard a saying sometimes that Rotarians rule the town, Kiwanis enjoy the town, and Lions serve the town. That is what we are known for. We serve. And that is the point that I want to bring across today when I will be discussing about the importance of hands-on service. Why is hands-on service important? Can you tell me why the hands-on service is important?
Feel good when you're doing it.
Feel good.
It's connect with the community and the service.
Connect with the community, connect with people. Anyone else?
I think it gives you a sense of personal achievement as well, that you have achieved something when you're serving others. It's good for your self-confidence. I think it really helps.
You understand the need when you connect with a person versus sitting outside of it. So when you're face to face, you actually can understand what the person is talking about. You actually get the feeling of it.
Connection with the community.
Correct.
Let's divide that in at personal level and at club level. On the personal level, is one of the stress reducer. We always talk about having so much stress in our lives. We have work, we have businesses, we have family, and you're always stressed out on providing, you're stressed out about making things work at home. But when you go and help the community, the fulfillment that we get, it helps in reducing your stress. I'm going to go a little quick today. The other thing somebody mentioned, that it brings people together. It brings that feeling of togetherness. Promotes personal growth and self-esteem. And then on the club level, what is our goal? We want to strengthen the community. We want to help the community. We want to have the betterment of the community. This hands-on service, going and helping people, will strengthen our community. Oops, sorry. Okay, that's all right. That was what I was worried about. Hands-on service actually makes a difference in the world. Just writing a check sometimes does make a difference many times, but you don't know what is going to happen with the money that you're sending. But instead of writing a check for $200 to a particular cause, like say writing the $200 for Sandy relief, you're going and actually doing some work for Sandy would make a real difference in somebody's life. It creates, the hands-on service also creates the awareness about what we do. If we didn't do hands-on service, if we just kept writing checks to the opticians and ophthalmologists around the world, would we be known for the Knights of Blind? People recognize us to be Knights of Blind because we did hands-on service for last 90 years. When Helen Keller challenged us to be Knights of Blind, we decided that we will go into our communities and actually do hands-on service. Another example that let me sort of step back. Is it not smart?
Remove that.
Okay, forget about it.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Let her restart.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go on.
Sure.
The hands-on service actually, like as many of you mentioned, it puts us right in the community. You need to know what community needs, how you need to sort of modify your plans, fine-tune your plans to serve our communities. We always discuss about having need assessment. We have resources available on our website, Lions Club International website. They are available with our leadership teams about how to do the need assessment. Did Rosemary talk about need assessment this morning? Did Rosemary talk about need assessment this morning?
Not too much. So.
Right. So there are resources available to do this formatted need assessment. But beyond that, if you are doing a hands-on service, you would know what your community actually needs. Yeah. Just
Enter. This one over there.
I'm going to go really quickly now.
I saw you.
Good talk.
The other part of the service that we provide I'm basically skipping that part because when I saw everybody is into hands-on service, everybody talked about hands-on service, so I would be preaching to the choir. So I'm going to not talk about that much. But I'm going to talk about public relation a little bit. We are supposed to be, we are always talked about being the best kept secret in the world. Even being the largest organization in the world, largest service organization in the world, not many people know about what we do. Not many people know that we exist, even if their life is directly, indirectly touched by the efforts of Lions. There are not many people know that the Habitat for Humanity, started by Lion Jimmy Carter, was started as a club project of his. They started building ramps for the veterans who returned from service to like sort of who lost their limbs and things like that. And that project grew into the district project when he became a district governor, and then after he finished his term as a president, it became a non-profit, a standalone non-profit organization, and it served the world. But not many people know about that. Not many Lions know that. Like even we keep talking about Jimmy Carter as being Lion for 60 years, we still never refer to him as a Lion Jimmy Carter. The public relation is important. I'm going to touch 2 or 3 reasons why public relation is important. But before that, I want to tell you the reason that we are supposed to be the best kept secret. Our founder, Melvin Jones, always used one statement. He always said that the steam that blows the whistle never pushes the train. And that is the philosophy that we worked on for almost 90 years, that we don't want to blow our whistle. We don't want to talk to people about what we do. We do our stuff and just forget about it. There is a reason that we have a whistle too. Even if the steam that is not pushing the train is still important, because whistle has got its position in the train. I will go with just a few reasons why we should do the public relation of our service activities. First thing is building relations and alliances. There are times that we cannot do everything by ourselves. Or there might be some organizations who do certain things that they cannot do by themselves, but we can be of some help. I'll give one quick example. During the Sandy, my home club, Edison Visionary Lions Club, we even a couple of years before Sandy, our club was chartered, and we were very, very active in our area. We used to have at least 1 or 2 activities every month, and the mayor knew about it, the council knew about it. Everybody knew what our club is and what they can do. During Sandy, the very, very next day, what happened in Edison area was we lost the water filtration plant, and there was no potable water, no drinking water in our area. Mayor, with her contacts, she got us 60,000 crates of water. But the thing is, there was nobody available in the townhouse to distribute that water. They got the water, there was a need, there was a supply, but there was nobody to provide them the water. She tried getting in the resources from the township, but they were already busy in taking care of lots of things happened because of Sandy. So she remembered us. She called us around 11 o'clock, asking us to come and help her. She had already announced that they will start the distribution of water at 12 o'clock. So we built our team, we went there, she gave us about 30,000 crates of water and asked her to go to this particular school and distribute. And we did that. That provided a lot of goodwill. And the people knew about our club more than what people knew about. And that opportunity was made available to us only because of the public relation that we had and the alliances that we formed with the township. Then the other thing is build or improve our reputation. Many times, if you go into a smaller town, the rural areas in New Jersey, even in urban areas for that matter, what people know, when they think about Lions, they start talking about eyeglasses or group like selling brooms or raffle tickets. That is what we are known for. But over a period of time, we have become such a wide organization that we take care of almost every single social cause that exists in the world. So that people need to know. So even if we have some reputation, we need to build that reputation as we do things beyond sight. We take care of youth, we take care of hunger, we take care of environment, we take care of diabetes, we take care of disaster management, and so many things. And that reputation that we can build through the service activities that we perform. And last but not least is the recruitment. The service activities that we do can also send a signal on what we are, what kind of people that we attract. We always keep talking about we don't get younger members. And we blame it on the communication aspect of it. We blame it on not using text or WhatsApp or Facebook. Facebook is a good story again for the millennials. But that is what we blame on. Sometimes it is not only the medium, it is also the content that we do, the way that it is done. Just to give you a small little difference between different generations. I would classify our population right now in four classifications. One would be the more traditionalist, the people who were born before Second World War. Then baby boomers, the ones who were born between Second World War and 60s. Then the Generation X, that is people who are born in 60s till mid-80s, and the millennials who were born after mid-80s. If you just sort of look at the way that they like to do projects, activities, the traditionalists, they are very, very hierarchical. The information, they like to have going from president to the board of directors to the club members and the senior club members and new club members. They need to have that hierarchy. The baby boomers, they are more into the consensus. They would like to have a committee. They want to meet together. They want to decide everything together. Whereas the Generation X believes in more competence. Okay? If somebody in the club is good at, I wanted to give instance example and event. If somebody is very good in the information technology, give him job of web development, and that person takes care of that without bothering anybody else. If somebody is good in training, give that job to that person, and that person takes care of that without any hierarchy, without any consensus as such. Whereas the millennials, they are interested in minimal information. They don't want to read a paragraph. They want to have it in 140 characters. They want to know the task, they optimize that task, and they get it done. They don't want to read your essay. Give them one line purpose, one line statement, and they get it done. This is what we need to understand when communicating with the population in general. If we are going to pick up a project where you need volunteers or millennials, you don't want to write them a big project report and ask them to serve with us. On the contrary, if you want to go to Calculus, you don't want to sort of anybody, 20-year-old, cannot just go and tell a senior in the club who is a member for 40 years, that, can you do this? It doesn't work many times. So we have to fine-tune our message, fine-tune our project to reach out to people with particular focus in mind. Okay, when I became part of the global membership team about 5 years back, I came with the plan. I had a very, very holistic plan. The plan was, go check if a person is breathing. If he's breathing, if he's not breathing, arrange for the funeral. If he is breathing, then check out whether he's a Lions member or not. If he's a member and he's an active member, just go and have a party. If he's not an active member and you feel that he's leaving the club, we have some bars. If you find out that he's breathing and he's not a member, what you do, ask him whether he's interested, he or she. If he or she is interested, welcome him to the club. If not interested, we can use the handcuff for some reason. But jokes apart, we need to have a membership plan for building our membership. That membership plan has got certain steps according to me. We always keep talking about you have to go and get members. Why do you need members? There has to be a reason to get members. We say that like, oh, we need to grow. We need to reach out to more people. And that becomes a burden on many of the clubs. That why everybody is asking us to grow. As when I was a governor last year, I used to get lots of communications from Lions International asking me to grow the membership, retain members, and start new clubs. But why? And that is what is very, very important when we are doing our membership plan. I have a few steps that I want to discuss with you. One is creating a vision. Creating a vision for your club. What your club is really interested in, where your heart is. That is the exercise we had, talking about where your heart is. As a group, you decide what is going to be your focus. Hunger. A couple of young ladies here, they talked about hunger. So if their club on a larger scale, if they are focused on hunger, hunger can become the vision for your club. Many times what we do is we are just going and doing projects because they come to us. Somebody reads the news on the local newspaper and they find that like they want to do something, and it is good. It is good that you are reaching out to the needs of your community. But beyond that, sometimes focusing on a particular cause makes a lot of difference. We are a very, very successful organization because for a number of years we focused on the site and site-related issues. So the creating a vision for the club is very, very important thing. Next thing is assessing the need. we have a vision. We now know that like we want to work on hunger. But then we need to figure out in our neighborhoods, our community, what is the actual need? Is it that we have a lot of homeless people? Is it we have people who are in foster care who have hunger issues? We have to do the need assessment, and the need assessment document that we have, it is very, very useful in deciding what the needs are. Then after you do the need assessment, you define your goal. You define that, okay, we want to work in the area of hunger. We want to relieve the hunger. We have too many homeless in our neighborhood. And then what we can do? We can probably have a soup kitchen every Tuesday, every second Tuesday of the month. You can come up with a project that supports your cause, the goal that you can define. Then the next step is evaluating your club. Whether you have this goal that serving the homeless every Tuesday in the evening, you are going to give them a dinner every evening. But then whether your club has that ability to serve them. One is most important thing is whether your club has finances. Second thing is whether your members can do that hands-on service. You need to have an inventory of the age, ability, and skills of each of your members. You need to see whether the project that you're choosing can be executed. You can provide that service. When you do that, you might end up finding the gaps. You might find that like sort of, oh, okay, we are going to do we are going to serve these homeless, but we don't have enough number of cooks. We don't have enough number of cooks. We don't have enough number of people to take the food to the homeless or gather them somewhere. We are lacking in these particular areas. When you find those gaps, next thing is bridging those gaps. Next thing is finding out what is lacking. We need these finances for next 1 year, and we don't have finances. We need some youngsters to run around and find those homeless people from under the bridges or wherever, and we want them to bring it to a particular location to serve them. You need younger volunteers or members. So you find that gap and try to bridge that gap. Okay, what I'm going to do is we can sort of gather around 2 tables. We can. And we are going to have a quick 5-minute discussion between our own group. We are going to plan one small little project which can support our communities and help us in building the membership. If we can come to this table. And can you please come to this table?
You made a very good point about focus and success for the site.
Just 1 second. Let me go.
Yeah.
Rohit, you need to. Rohit,
huh?
You need to move this. I want people to see that.
Okay.
We just move out of this. What I want you to quickly do into your group. Select a cause, define a service project that you can do, evaluate the resource, like just think that like this, these are two clubs, and evaluate the resources. Think about like what is the gap and how are you going to bridge the gap? What is the focused recruitment that you need to do? And plan a small service activity, and how that service activity, if performed, will entice the potential members to join your club. So I would put a 5 minutes on timer. You choose one leader in your group who would then explain us later what project that you planned, and discuss among yourself, and then we'll come back after 5 minutes.
Children take part. Okay, all right. So something that is around
We were thinking of when we were paying breakfast we had in October. We were thinking of maybe pushing it back for whichever way you want to put it closer to Halloween. Type of.
I'd love to
Example
have
one,
Halloween.
and where we get the older kids, we're trying to have some game, start having tracks of kids. Say that Thanksgiving is the downstream character.
You can come here. You can come on this side.
That's our fundraising scholarship.
We don't know where to be. But if we can collect what's the name and we don't need to target some people who are already coming. They have something that was
It's almost kind of agencies that serve self-service already.
The gap that means we don't get the 12 to 18-year kids in below. But we get family drive. So it becomes a family social event. And it's for the meal.
Yeah.
Still
got the green one.
The white ones? And then they'll bring it back. You'll need it then. Okay, sounds like a plan. Yeah, and their extended family. Yeah.
Give donations, safety and certification. Well, what we did is we had the lunch, we found individuals,
silent auction, very hard to little raffle, to make it fun. We also do
I think what we're doing, in a short time we've been together, can't believe how much great suggestions come in. First, what always, first thing that comes to my mind, no, all these ideas are great, but what makes the project even greater, that people are interested, is something that is totally, if it's totally neat, everybody's on the favorites, everybody's got the choice to talk to. It's been so easy that your town, the organization, is famous for that one project. It's got to be so unique that things like things to it. So we come up with something that's really unique. For the egg plant, it's there for the children or something. I just have looking pasta, eggs to hide instead of the children, to put onions. Get the onions and then they can take that onion and they match it to somebody else. So it's like a continuous thing. We're not just grabbing the eggs and everybody's hacking the eggs and taking the
It's not a short time, but let's get back.
And depending on your color egg, you got a bunch of appreciations. Okay, that means you have to do something environmental. Your kids got the purple eggs, okay, we got to do something.
Who is going to talk from this group?
Also making it deep to include.
Who is going to talk from this group? Okay, you can tell us about what you plan. You can stay there.
Oh, I can stay there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's coming up front though, because everybody.
Okay.
It's just so much easier. Okay. Oh, be careful.
You want to?
I speak very loudly, so. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I tend to speak fast because I know we're limited, Bill. Slow it down. In the 2 minutes we've been together, we have a great team. I was frantically taking notes because so many great ideas were coming up. Basically, we talked about recruiting 40 to 50-year-olds because they're usually past the young child rearing stage. But then someone said, no, it should be the whole family involved. 2 of the holidays that were mentioned were Thanksgiving and Halloween. Christmas, a lot is done during Christmas time. I like Halloween because it's a very fun event. Halloween is more popular now than a lot of the holidays. In my towns that I lived in, Halloween was huge. So Halloween and Thanksgiving, we talked about toy drives, giving food. I mentioned that we should try to focus on something. If you're going to do something different and can be known by that, you have to do something very unique. If it's done where everybody else has done, pancake breakfasts or things like that, try to make it very unique to your club so that your club is known specifically for that specific event. Great ideas about implementing luncheon, honoring somebody from the community, which gets involved extended friends and family, not just the individual members. Silent raffles. We made something about Applegate, which is a lot of great restaurants do wonderful things for the community. And I'm trying to think, one of the things that I brought up was Easter hunts are very popular. But when I used to do Easter hunts, instead of having just chocolate in the Easter hunt, I would say, okay, instead of the chocolate, I'm going to put pennies. And let's say whatever color eggs you get, let's say if most of the eggs that you got were the pink eggs, okay, then you're going to do an environmental project. The next person next to you got a whole bunch of purple eggs, okay, they're going to do something for the ocean. I live right outside of LBI, so one of the things that's unique to my area, because I'm close to the lagoons in the ocean, is to do something involving the environment and cleaning the ocean. If you live in an area that's known for, I don't think of something, what's unique in your town? You think of one thing that's unique in your community that's not unique maybe down where I am. What?
Veterans.
Veterans, okay, then do something with veterans and then become known in your club for doing that. One of the quick things, I know we're limited time, is I'm also a big believer that if you want to get younger members, someone mentioned to me today, get that magazine out there. I'm a nurse. I've known about Lions Club for years. I got involved because I worked with blind children. They gave me my job, the Lions Club. But I knew nothing else about the Lions Club other than, oh, they do services for visually impaired. It wasn't until I got the magazine that I'm like, oh my God, we do a lot more than just visually impaired. We do a tremendous amount of service on an international level. So that magazine needs to get out more. And I know I'm going on and on, but that's it, my quick 5 minutes. Great ideas.
Thank you, Hazel.
Okay.
Who is going to talk from this group?
This little bit that we talked about was our hunger project at our church. And the thing is, we have the hunger, we have everything that we need to do. We figured out what our gap is. And our gap is that we don't have the fully functioning kitchen that we want to have. So with our budget, with everything else that we do at the church, the money coming in, it gets brought to the food bank, some of the money, so that money in our GoFund page goes out for us to be able to say, okay, this is what we want to be able to do one day to this church, to our church in the kitchen. Everything that gets donated to us is going to go toward getting our kitchen better and up the shape so that we're able to provide and, you know, be able to do much more to our community and help others.
Thank you. Thank you. We started a little late and we have to go back to the district meetings. So I would like to end it here. It was very nice of you to come here. Some of you skipped your lunch and came here. Thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to run one small little clip, which was done by the Lions of Australia for recruitment.
Every new line means 2 more hands. Join us, lions.org.au.
Basically, as it says, like sort of every new lion that you recruit comes with 2 hands and 2 hands to help the community and 1 warm heart. So with that, I would like to end this session. We have some handouts that talk about different service projects that we can implement. And I'm recruiting all of you to be members of the global membership team.
I think a real quick suggestion.